So, welcome to the College of Fellows Voices for the Future series. And it's my pleasure to welcome AnaToro, who was inducted into the College of Fellow in 2016. Welcome, Anna, and thank you for being part of our series.
Hi, Ellen. Thank you for the invite.
So, obviously, you have a very impressive career, as most members of the College of Fellows do, but yours is particularly interesting because of your international experience and your experience at the Centers for Disease Control. So, can we start with you just talking a little bit about your career and what was the journey that led you to deciding to apply to the College of Fellows?
It's interesting because I wanted to study production, film, and while taking a general communication course during the bachelor's program, I fell in love with PR. There was something there that just hit me, and I said, that sounds so interesting and different that I literally changed my major initially into mass media writing, which led me to then enter into the master's program at the same university, Universidad del Sagrado Corazón is a private university in Puerto Rico, which back then it was the top school, communication school in the island. And they only offer one master's and it was in PR. So I said, well, I wish I would have come to the States to study, but my parents couldn't send me. So I said, okay, I'll take what's available. And there, I met a fellow, Fernando Valverde. He was one of the first classes, and he being a professor without him knowing, he literally inspired me to pursue at some point, to pursue APR and then become a fellow in my career. I always saw it the same way he saw it. He said, this is not a job. This is a career that you're going to be growing and evolving. And I always saw it that way too. So the first few years, like many of us, started in the agency world, right? And acquiring many experiences with different accounts, projects. And in Puerto Rico, you're a generalist. You can manage a beer, a car, a store, but then a nonprofit, then you do fundraising. So you do everything, right? You are in exhibits. So in a way, it's a school. It's a great school because then you know a little bit of everything, and it better positions you to the future. Eventually, I became a partner with another colleague. We had our agency for a few years, and then surprisingly, then we parted ways, and then we came to the States. I came to the States and established my practice. It was first in Puerto Rico a few years, 6 years, and then here. But then I joined, the Georgia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, then Fleshman Hillard as VP of Healthcare, and then ICF, which was a federal contractor. And both at Fleshman and ICF, I entered this world of public health, which was completely new to me. And that's what led me to CDC. But at some point in 2015, actually, after both my parents passed, within 5 weeks between one and the other, I said, now I'm ready to do the process of becoming a fellow. In a way, it was sort of an exercise to relieve my pain and focus on something positive. And in a way, I didn't pass that first year, which is fine. And then I passed the second year. And the same happened to me in the APR. I first tried and didn't pass only the first half, and the second half I have to try.
I think that's really great that you're admitting that, because same thing happened to me, and I don't think people realize how tough it is, both for the APR and the College of Fellows. You have to take it very seriously. And if you don't make it, it's okay, because it gives you a chance to try again. Do you remember any of the case studies that you use in your application that you could talk about?
Well, there were many case studies in many areas. There was one about, there were many crises. Some of them that I managed in Puerto Rico with a nonprofit related to healthcare organizations, health professionals that were facing a an issue that our legislators passed a moratorium and was affecting the health professionals in the island, doctors and all the support staff. And that effort, I took it from the beginning, was able to identify the spokespersons. There were a board of 17 and everybody was, screaming and trying to put order, and it was really a mess. And then the court of public opinion was very against the doctors because there was a huge trend in natural medicine, and this was basically what was affecting them, that they had gone to school for many years, and now the natural medicine doctors were almost treated the same in terms of the government and allowing them to treat patients the same way. So they were fighting for that. And from launching a whole paid media campaign, a huge protest from all the island, all doctors coming to the capital, which was a once in a lifetime thing. When would you see doctors walking out of the streets, burning a huge diploma, symbolizing our diplomas are worth nothing. And then supporting them on the public hearings, meetings with the legislators, even the governor of Puerto Rico. So it was such a huge effort, and eventually a board was created. Doctors were part of that board. Many natural medicine doctors had to close practices, and the court of public opinion shifted, and media was really addressing also, covering our point of view. So it was very gratifying. The case actually won awards in Puerto Rico by the Public Relations, Association, and also it was included in a case as a case study in a book by a colleague of mine in the island. So it was one of the best ones. It was an effort for during 6 months.
Wow.
And I still remember, I still have all the clippings. I mean, it's really close to
I bet. What an incredible experience. So, looking back on being inducted into the College of Fellows, how has being a part of the organization affected your career or benefited you personally?
When I learned that I was, now part of the fellows, it felt like, oh, you are selected to be in the crew of the NASA shuttle, right? Or you are now a member of the Supreme Court, or you just won a Nobel Prize. It's that feeling, right? We won an Oscar, as we always joke around. It's such a meaningful, meaningful recognition that tells you it was all worth it, because there were so many nights, days, weeks in your life that you took out from your family to do client work, to support crisis, to be out of town, visiting, dealing with so much for others. And in a way, first of all, in that part, right, to me was very important because it was all worth it. It almost says, congratulations, you did it. Thank you for your service. And now you're part of this elite group. On the other hand, of course, being a fellow, obviously in where where I work now at CDC, certainly everybody has 3, 4, 5 titles after their name. Doctors have a PH and many other letters after. So the credentials are huge. And I explain, people ask me all the time, what does that mean? So it's a great chance to tell them what it is. And well, first I start with APR, and then I continue with fellow PRSA, and I actually clarify that our fellows in our agency are the ones that started their career, but they're fellows at the end of not at the end of their career, but at the peak of their career as well. And that's me, and I explain. So it just gives you pride. It's an opportunity to educate about what we do, and a little bit about your road in the field. So.
And you were one of the special people that have really jumped in and gotten very involved in the College of Fellows. So talk a little bit about, were you surprised that it's it's a lot more than just a recognition. It's an opportunity to get involved even deeper into the profession. Would you agree with that?
I do. The College of Fellows, in a way, when I was involved, well, I mean, I'm still at R, but when I started and you see, the history of the organization, which I actually volunteered to also take the book and make it more diverse in terms of images, mentions, because, I was brought in and invited to serve in a 3-year term, which is not an easy task as the first College of Fellows Chief Diversity Officer. So to come with that lens and realizing that the college in a way also is evolving, is changing, we want to be more inclusive, but we also celebrate the diversity of experiences and people and ages and backgrounds from all our members. It's seeing that new lens. But yes, it's more than awards. I mean, you see the commitment of many individuals that are mentors. I also serve as a mentor to many people in a formal or informal capacity, even at work, and people looking for jobs. I mean, it's natural because this group of people have already proved that they have done this all their lives, and now it's another a phase or a continuation of what we've been doing, just paying it forward, helping others continue our legacy, and just inspiring folks to do their best and really represent the profession, in the best way possible.
That's great. So what advice would you give a young professional, thinking back that somebody inspired you to have that aspiration? What advice would you give a young professional on how to prepare for the College of Fellows or even to have it as an aspiration?
Well, I tell students what I kind of mentioned you at the beginning. Don't see public relations as a job. You will never stop learning. It's a beautiful profession. I think it allows you to understand many things about our world, politics, our environment, or communities, people, health. I mean, when you start looking around that, we know a little bit about so many topics. I always joke that you can go to a party and really talk to anyone about anything because you probably manage a client in your industry. So it's always like a neighbor that was working for a beer company. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to work for Coors and Anheuser-Busch and Heineken. And they're like, wow. Or someone that works in a car dealer and you're like, okay, yeah, I work Chrysler and Volvo Chrysler. So they're like, oh my gosh. So I love it because we don't really have so many stories to share with people. But I tell the students really to follow their heart and follow their passion and be good at it, till the end. And I say, aspire to become an APR and a fellow because that gets you out of the pack. And nowadays, being a profession, everything is so competitive. Why not, right? It's not only have a bachelor's and have a master's, but then what? And I give them the example. Listen, I work with a lot of doctors and they are not only MDs, they have like 4 or 5 degrees after that. These people are still studying. They have PhDs too. I mean, then for us, I tell them, this is our options too. Do an APR, become a fellow, like many professors do in colleges. They are PhDs and they are also fellows. So and I tell them, do it for you because you will be proud of it. You will become a better professional. You will know your story. You will, it's kind of becoming the whole package. Otherwise, to me, it's kind of, you did it, you started, but you have not finished your full potential in the industry.
That's great. That's really great. So is there anything that we haven't discussed that you would like to add about the College of Fellows or your personal experience?
No, I mean, I told you, I love what I do. PR is one of the best careers there is. And I'm so proud to be part of this organization. PRSA since college, again, was the go-to organization. And it also taught me to, to serve in this capacity too. I mean, I already was a president in Puerto Rico of the PRSA, of the local chapter. We invited the Counselors Academy College of Fellows, went to the island as well. So we always heard about them, but I never saw myself becoming part of the organization at higher levels. And then I served the national board. I mean, I came to Georgia and I immediately, within a month, I was a member of the Georgia chapter. And I'm now in the process of moving to Florida, and I'm already checking the chapters to see which one is the closest to me. So again, it's going to be part of your life. You remember here since you began and after you retire, because you can continue serving, right? And it's so enriching. I mean, we are a lot of professionals, but then we are a small community in a way, because we know so many people. I always tell my husband, oh yeah, he's talking about a state. Oh, I know someone there. Oh, I know a few people in Alaska. Oh yeah, I know people here and there. And they're like, how?
Makes
and
the
I'm like,
world
PRSA.
small, right?
We have built such a great community. We help each other. And I love it. I mean, everybody's a real people like us, right? Because you see them there. Oh my gosh, this person that managed this crisis, this issue, and then it's like it's a friend,
Yeah.
and in a way, it's a peer. It's awesome. I really.
Well, Anna,
enjoy
you
it.
are an amazing inspiration, and thank you for being part of the Voices for the Future. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you for the